Implementing CI/CD for a Selenium automation framework involves automating the process of running your test suite every time there's a change in the application or framework code. This setup ensures your tests are always up to date and validates the stability of your application. Below is a detailed guide on how to set up a CI/CD pipeline for a Selenium framework using tools like Jenkins, Git, and Docker. Key components for CI/CD of Selenium automation framework. Source code repository, e.g., Git, stores the application and test automation code. GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket are popular options. Continuous integration server, e.g., Jenkins. Jenkins automates running tests whenever code is pushed to the repository. Test automation framework, Selenium. This is the actual test suite written in Selenium WebDriver. Build tools, Maven/Gradle, used to compile the test code, resolve dependencies, and run tests. Test reporting tools, e.g., JUnit, Allure, provides detailed test reports after running the test suite. Docker, containers can be used to run tests in isolated environments. Cloud browser providers, e.g., Selenium Grid, BrowserStack, or Sauce Labs, enables cross-browser testing. Step-by-step guide to CI/CD with Selenium 1. Set up the source code repository, version control, host your Selenium test framework in a version control system such as GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. Ensure the test code is structured in a modular way, separating the test cases, configurations, and test data. Branching strategy. Implement a proper branching strategy, e.g., main, develop, and feature branches, to ensure CI/CD pipelines run only on required branches. 2. Configure the test automation framework. Choose a testing framework. Use testing frameworks such as JUnit, TestNG, or NUnit, depending on the programming language. Install necessary dependencies. Manage dependencies using Maven, Java, Gradle, Java, NPM, JavaScript, or NuGet, C#. Example Maven pom.xml for Java Selenium, XML dependencies, Selenium WebDriver dependency a group ID org.selenium.selenium/group ID artifact ID Selenium Java/artifact ID a version 4.1.0/version/dependency, TestNG for testing framework, dependency a group ID org.testing/group ID, artifact ID a testing/artifact ID a version 7.4.0/version scope test/scope/dependency. WebDriver Manager for managing browser drivers, dependency a group ID io.github.bonagarcia/group ID artifact ID a WebDriver Manager/artifact ID a version 5.1.0/version/dependency/dependencies a 3. Set up Jenkins for continuous integration 1. Install Jenkins. Download and install Jenkins from the official Jenkins site, https://jenkins.io. Install required plugins, Git, to pull the latest code from your repository. Maven/Gradle, to manage builds and tests. JUnit/TestNG, for test reporting. Docker, for running tests in isolated environments if needed. 2. Create a Jenkins job, freestyle or pipeline job. For a simple pipeline, you can use freestyle projects, but it's recommended to use declarative pipelines for better flexibility. Source code management. Connect your repository by configuring the Git repository URL in the job configuration. Build triggers. Set Jenkins to trigger builds automatically when a new commit is made to the repository using pull-SCM or webhooks. 3. Configure the build environment. Set up the environment to ensure you can run the tests headlessly if needed, e.g., using headless browsers in Docker or XVFB for Linux. 4. Write a Jenkins pipeline to run Selenium tests in Jenkins. You define the pipeline in a Jenkins file, which automates the build, test, and reporting steps. Basic Jenkins file for Selenium. Groovy pipeline, agent any stages, stage, checkout code, steps, // pull the latest code from the repository Git URL, https://your-repo/selenium-framework.git branch, main, stage, install dependencies, steps, // use Maven to install dependencies mvn clean install. Stage, run Selenium tests, steps, // run tests using Maven mvn test, stage, publish test results, steps, // publish test results, e.g., JUnit or TestNG reports, JUnit/target/surefire report/star. XML, post, always, // clean up the workspace clean WS, failure, // send notifications in case of failures mail to, dev-team@example.com, subject, test failure, body, the test run has failed. 5. Integrate Docker for running tests in isolated environments. Why Docker? Selenium tests often depend on specific browser versions, so running tests in Docker containers provides consistency across environments. Selenium Grid. You can use Selenium Grid with Docker to run tests in different browser versions. Example Jenkins file with Docker, Groovy pipeline, agent, Docker, image, Selenium/standalone Chrome, latest / use Docker image with Chrome browser args, v/dev/shm/dev/shm, stages, stage, checkout code, steps, git URL, https://github. com/your/repo/selenium framework.git, stage, run tests, steps, / running tests inside the Docker container mvn test, stage, publish test results, steps, junit/target/surefire reports/star.xml, 6. Run tests on cloud browser services. You can integrate your Selenium framework with cloud browser services like BrowserStack, Sauce Labs, or a Selenium Grid. These services allow you to run tests across multiple browsers and platforms. BrowserStack integration. Use BrowserStack credentials and capabilities in your test framework. Sample Selenium WebDriver code for BrowserStack. Java desired capabilities equals new desired capabilities.set capability, browser, Chrome, capabilities.set capability, browser_version, 91.0, capabilities. Set capability, OS, Windows, capabilities.set capability, OS_version, 10, capabilities.set capability, name, test name, WebDriver driver equals new remote WebDriver, new URL, http://hub-cloud.browserstack.com/wd/hub, capabilities, 7. Setup test reporting, JUnit, Allure, extent reports, JUnit/testng reports. Jenkins automatically generates test reports using JUnit or testng plugins, showing which tests passed, failed, or were skipped. Allure/extent reports. For more detailed reports, use tools like Allure or extent reports. Allure integration in pom.xml, XML plugin group ID io.cometa.allure/group ID artifact ID Allure Maven/artifact ID version 2.10.0/version/plugin 8. Best practices for CI/CD with Selenium. Parallel testing. Run tests in parallel to reduce execution time. Use Selenium Grid or cloud services to distribute tests across multiple nodes. Headless browsers. Use headless browsers, e.g. Chrome headless or Firefox headless, for faster execution in CI environments. Retry mechanism. Implement a retry mechanism to rerun failed tests to handle intermittent issues. Test tagging. Tag test cases to group them, e.g., smoke tests, regression tests, and run specific tests for different pipeline stages. Code quality and linting. Integrate tools like SonarQube for static code analysis, ensuring code quality. Conclusion. Setting up a CI/CD pipeline for Selenium automation ensures that your tests are executed consistently, automatically, and early in the development process. Tools like Jenkins, Docker, and cloud browser services allow you to scale and enhance your testing capabilities, ensuring faster feedback and improved software quality. By following the steps outlined, you can create a robust CI/CD pipeline that integrates seamlessly with your Selenium automation framework.